Hi friends, it's Doreen. We're back to Home with Doreen, where we do everyday meals, special occasions, and holidays. And we have Thanksgiving right around the corner. So I wanted to work on some new Thanksgiving appetizers, new to me, not necessarily new so much to other people, but I don't usually do a Brie and a puff pastry. I don't know why. I've had it at other places, it's delicious, but for some reason it wasn't on my grid to do. But I'm gonna try it this year, but I want to do something a little bit different. If you've watched me any length of time, you know I like to do theme uh, meals or a theme flavor, whether it's a theme party or decor. I love to do a theme flavor. So this year my theme flavor is going to be bourbon. Hello. So right now I'm going to do a brown butter, and let's go ahead and get this going because it's going to take a little bit, and hopefully I don't get this splattering all over the place. I'm going to cut it in slices. So like I said, today I'm going to attempt an appetizer with sliced apples. I'm going to do them in rounds. Let's get that going. And I want to incorporate some bourbon in that. So when you're doing brown butter, don't leave the stove, and be careful to stand back because sometimes it's splattered. I think some butters probably have more water or something in it. So we're going to let those fat solids rise up, and we're just going to let it do its thing right now. I think the brown butter is going to give us a lot layered flavor. I'm going to take my apple core and go down the middle. Now you can do it in chunks. A lot of people that fill their puff pastry. Oh, these are really dense apple. Um, every once in a while, just give that a little swish around. I'll try to show you what I mean about letting those. You're going to see a lot of foam on the top. But anyways, where was I? Get doing one other thing and I forget what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, a lot of people chop up their apples small. I'm gonna do these really thinly sliced, and the reason I'm gonna soak them in my brown butter, my bourbon, and some honey. I want them to get a little tender so that they're nice and tender when I cook them in the puff pastry. I want a softness to it. I don't want a bunch of crunch. And this is starting to turn. I could see some brown bits on the bottom. You don't want to burn it. Let me see if I can get a little closer for you. And we're really there. See how all the foam is rising to the top? You could probably have this be just a little bit more. No, I think that we're going to call that good. I'm going to get it off the heat. We're going to go back in there with the apples in a moment. Hopefully you got a good shot of that. But see how that's colored? And you know what? I'm going to put this in a measuring cup or something because I won't use all, because I'm just making a small batch right now. I won't use all that butter, but for this recipe, I'll use some maybe to coat the top of our puff pastry. So I just want layers of flavor. So I'm gonna put this on low, and I got my pan off the stove, and I'm gonna slice these really thin. I'm like, should I leave that? I think it would look so pretty with a peel, but how will that be to bite into it? That's what you got to think about. And it's like, could it soften enough if I pre-cook it? I don't know. What do you think? because I'm just trying out something new, and I'm trying to remember now of all the puff pastry, baked puff pastry with Brie. If people have, I think most of the time people peel it. I'm gonna try. Let's. We don't know. I won't know unless I try. So let's put our apples in a bowl. You know, I'm gonna get some lemon juice going on there to coat that because we don't want the apples to be all round. And I'm just gonna squish my lemon a bit, put some little elbow weight or shoulder weight on there. Elbow weight. Isn't it elbow grease? And get some lemon juice in that bowl so these apples don't turn all brown. Alright, so I'm gonna do one with the so see, we got the core out. I'm gonna do one with the peels and one without. I just had this idea to look like this, so I don't know if it's gonna work out so great. I had a cute pumpkin cookie cutter. I think I have a cute turkey cookie cutter, and I thought, oh, if I was gonna use those, I probably would cut them in small dice. Who knows where I put them? I looked at my Christmas cookie cutter shapes. Thought maybe I put it in there. I have no idea where I put it. It's not. This is kind of my utility drawer under here. Sometime I'll show you. It's a big mess. There's lots of stuff in there. Plus, I have my utility, you know, spinner there. Lazy Susan. It's not Lazy Susan. It's a utility holder that spins around. I love it. All right, so let's do this one. You want it nice and thin. I mean, we are going to make them tender here in the brown butter and the bourbon. And I kind of was like, oh, do I want to put a little brown sugar in there also? But I don't know, with the honey, I thought, is that going to be too much? Too many, like, because here we are using honey, and I want the honey flavor. I kind of wanted that honey bourbon flavor. We'll see. Oops, I'm a little too thin on that. I guess since I'm cooking these, it doesn't have to be razor thin, just thin. I don't know, maybe what, 1/4 to 1/8 slice. I'll show you up close in a moment. So the big question, are you hosting Thanksgiving this year? Or have you already been asked to like bring a treat? You've been asked to bring the appetizers. So some of them are a little thinner than others, but you can kind of see where I'm going there. That one's a little bit thicker. So I was chit-chatting, and I wasn't paying total close attention. I'm going to put some on the side for me. Some of these ones that, oh, that didn't break, so. All right, let's put the other half of our lemon juice on there. All right. And you know what? Let's go ahead and put some of our bourbon in there right now. Now, anytime you're near an open flame or the stove with alcohol, be really careful. Because I have this on low right now, but I'm way over here. And I'm going to use about 1/8 of a cup. I don't know. This is a small batch. I want a nice flavor. I don't want it to be overwhelmed. We're going to cook off any alcohol, so we don't have to worry about people getting a buzz off of here. And the kids can have it. I'm just giving that a gentle stir. Let's see. I'm thinking we can be a little bit more. Add a little time to your liking. 1/16 there. All right. Note to self: don't eat these sugar brie. This is sugar brie variety of apple. Kind of dense and crunchy. They're really good, nice and sweet. Don't try to cook and do a video and eat one of those. It takes a while. So I've poured a few tablespoons of that brown butter in there, and I'm trying to see how I want to do this. Let's go ahead before this pan gets super hot. Let's go ahead and put our apples in there. We can put apples in the bourbon. Like I said, if you've got an open flame, please be careful. We don't want to poof fireball. Just doing 2 apples because I'm doing a small batch. This is kind of my taste. Ooh, that smells good with that brown butter. I probably can put a little bit more. Oh my gosh, that smells incredibly good. I'm gonna put a little bit more of the brown butter. I just want to save at least a couple tablespoons for my puff pastry. All right, so I've got this on about 6. I'm gonna monitor whether I'll increase the heat. And I was deciding that, do I want this to have a thicker sauce or a thin, like apple pie or like a puff pastry, like a strudel. With a strudel, you're going to have a thicker pie filling type of consistency. I thought I'll go a little bit less than that, more like a thickened sauce. I don't want it too thick. I'm just going to let those basically cook down a little bit, hang out, do their thing. I'm deciding if I want to put my sugar in there now. Let's put our honey. I'm going to do about a 1/4 cup. This happens to be some watermelon flavor honey, but it doesn't have an intense watermelon flavor. I got this at one of our local farm stands this past summer. I made my hot honey with. It was really good. All right, well, it's not quite a 1/4 cup. Oh, let's do this. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Now, this isn't like apple pie or anything, so I'm not going to add some apple pie spice or anything like that. Oh, that smells incredibly delicious. All right, so let's let that hang out. I'm going to stir it through a little bit. We'll see if we got it to the tenderness I want and the consistency. And we'll go ahead and get our cheese ready. I'm going to do, I think, some with Brie and some with Gouda. I thought I had a bigger. I only have, so let me show you what Brie looks like. It's this white coated. I've got a wedge of it. You can sometimes get it in um, a round shape. And a lot of people will do a puff pastry. They'll put that in the middle and put their apples or caramelized onions on top. So we got to work with this. And then I've got some Gouda, smoked Gouda. Let me check, double check. So I'm going to work with those cheeses and this apple. Another cheese really that would be great is really a sharp. Oh yeah, this is a smoked goat Gouda. So And I know goat cheeses are a little easier on tummy, and some people that are lactose intolerant can usually have something like goat cheese or this one apple is very thin, so that's Wilton. Let's give that a little taste test. It's really hot. Oh, no. Yummy. That is good. And I don't think we have too much bourbon. I don't think we need any more. We're gonna love this. I'm gonna love this. Okay, gotta clean up. Well, look, I'm gonna close this. I'm putting it down to about 2. Let it simmer so I can clean up and get ready to get that puff pastry out. Let's get the cheese sliced up while we're waiting for this. Now, this has been on for about 10 minutes. I was thinking maybe 15, 20 minutes total. We don't want it, we want it tender, not uh, totally mushy. And these are a real dense apple, so depending on the variety, this cooking time might be a little different depending on the variety of apple you have. This is a sugar bee. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and that's one they have around here. It's really delicious, but it is dense. So I decided to pull out this extra white sharp cheddar, because cheddar does really go great with uh, apple. So, and this is a really good brand. This is the Tillamook. I pretty much use it all the time because it tastes so good. And I will vouch. Ooh, be careful. Let's use a different knife than that. I definitely will vouch for this extra white sharp because I brought it plenty of times to church for when I serve refreshments. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, that cheese is so good." They're like, "What is that cheese?" I'm like, "It's part of in our own backyard. We live in Washington." I wanted to try out the different cheeses since this is kind of like a test recipe. Now, if you're looking for more holiday appetizers, I have some videos out. You definitely can find a bunch on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of holiday recipes. Make sure you check those out if you're looking for some yummy holiday recipes and appetizers, really. And sometimes you want something really. I have some things that are really super simple. I mean, I wouldn't call this, you know how they'll have easy, medium, or like a high level of prep and cook time and skill. This is definitely, I would say, medium as far as, because you do have to do a lot of little extra prep. All right, look at that. Let's go on to the Gouda. I think the ends I won't. Got my oven preheated, or preheating right now, till about 375. Should have put this timer on for the, put it on for 4 minutes because I don't want it to overcook. And it's definitely smelling like the holidays in here. One way you're gonna slice your cheese easier is when it's nice and cold. I had this sitting out just a little bit, so it's a little difficult. Plus, if you have the right knife, helps. Right. Let's go on to the Brie. Brie is a really soft cheese, so it's going to give you a nice melt. So between the combination of a little bit of crunch in the apple, and it'll be ever so little because we are cooking them down, and the nice soft gooey meltedness of the Brie, am I all right? I can remember one year my sister made the Brie with the caramelized onions, and that was so fabulous. Now, like I said, I have a wedge here, and probably depending on how many people you're feeding, because appetizers, you don't want to overwhelm with appetizers and everybody fill up on appetizers. So you want to go according to how many people you're having. Now, this is this package. This, what the Brie looks like. It's 7 ounces. And if you want to make this a super easy, you can just do it by the round disc of it and just put it in your, lay your puff pastry out and do it that way. That's like super simple. Because if you're hosting Thanksgiving and you're doing a lot of the heavy lifting of cooking, you want to make it easier on yourself. And better yet, if you're doing the heavy lifting of hosting, you would ask for help and have somebody else bring the appetizers. You hear me, girl? You hear me, friend? Because a lot of times we want to be the hostess with the mostest, and that's one way to quickly exhaust yourself. And we want you to enjoy Thanksgiving also. So I'm going to turn this off. I think I got like a minute left. This is to the tenderness, and I don't know if I want to reduce down that sauce. I might. Let's put that on high. Oh, that's not going to work. Let's find a better. How about a slotted spoon? There we go. So I'm going to work on another appetizer also with goat cheese and blackberry, like a goat cheese and blackberry filling. Oh, with a little sage in it. And I think we'll use croissant dough, pre-made croissant dough, because we're about having a nice appetizer, but also not overworking ourselves. So I'm going to reduce this down a little bit. Spread this out. Let it. It'll be already cooled down a little bit. Actually, probably a little easier. Now you can see the consistency of this. I just want it to reduce down a little bit. We've got 2 puff pastry sheets. I lightly floured parchment paper. I'm going to gently unfold this. And I personally don't work with this much, so we'll see. I'm going to lightly roll this out. I might have too much flour on there. Just wipe some of that off. All right, so let's cut this in half. And I don't know how big I want them. I should have done this. Well, let's go in the half down here. I'm already committed. Okay. Now we're going to go. All right, in thirds. All right. So let's put them on our pan. And we'll fill them in there. That sauce that I've reduced down, I only did it like for less than a minute. That's all it really needed. And we'll see. I gotta play with this a little because I said I don't do this. I'm like, I can't even tell you when I did puff pastry last time. Let's do it this way. Maybe 3 per. Let me know what your favorite way to use puff pastry. I think I can only do 9 at a time because we got to give them space, right? So let's put that aside. Ooh, it's very delicate. The pan, just from sitting on here. Let's put that in the fridge. All right. Put this other dough in there now. All right. Need some space. I'm going to start with the Brie. I think I'm going to put the apple slices first and the Brie on top. And we'll see how we're going to fold them up. Like I said, I'm kind of playing with this. Like, how do I want to do this? Oh, how about if you can see? That would be really nice. Now they're pretty big. Oh, that's not going to work. I guess I needed to make them bigger. Unless I do them like open face. No. All right, let's try a couple of things. I forgot about that. All right, let's do a half. Oh, I'm not sure how I want to do it. All right, let's do this lengthwise. I didn't think this part through. Remember, we're doing some with the peel and some without. Ooh, that burner is still hot. It's like, do I need more apple than this? I'm going to put 2. You know what? I do have an awful lot of dough, so let's. So I think I will do 1 whole batch without and then with, so I can. Because how will I know which one's have it and which ones don't. So let's do the ones. Woo! Hot. There, so they're all filled. I might have to make another batch of this because this smells incredible. Here's one more that doesn't have skin or the peel. I'm doubling it up, the apples, because I guess I want people to have a significant bite of apple. Two. That one's a little. All right. I need one more. Whew. All right. Hands are real sticky. Give them a quick little wash. I'm excited about this. All right, so I have to figure out how I'm gonna wrap these. Might have to, I have another batch of pastry dough, but that's in the freezer. So what I remember of pastry dough is like, I think you have to be careful how you thaw it. Because I remember one time it just ripping up the shreds like when and I can't remember the whole scenario, but it wasn't as easy as I wanted. Ooh, this is melting already. This brie. Oh, you want to get that back right in the fridge. Oh, I shouldn't have sliced them on top of each other because they're melting together. Note to self, that's why we try these out. That's why I'm trying it out right now before the big day. I can work out all the lumps. And you tell I don't work with this now. I had to mold this because it's melting. I'm going to put this in the fridge. I have a space. There we go. All right, so I'm going to take a little pastry brush, take a little bit of that brown butter, and put it around the inside edges of my puff pastry. Coating the edges along the outside edges. I'm thinking I'm going to fold up all the corners toward the inside. So I didn't want huge, like I could put another layer on top, but I didn't want a huge appetizer. So let's see if this works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, I don't like the way that looks. Let's see how it bakes. Maybe if I rolled this out a little bit more. Okay, when it's not looking all as pretty as we want, what do we call it? If you've seen enough of my videos, you know what we call it. If you haven't, we'll give you a heads up. If it doesn't look as pretty as you want it, it is classified rustic. So these may have a real rustic look to them. That's okay because rustic isn't bad. Are you buying it? And that's why we kind of pre-do things ahead of time because we want to see what works and what doesn't. Sometimes you have something in your head and you're like, that's not working exactly how I imagine. Now I'm kind of trying to work quickly because this puff pastry gets so soft. I think this is going to be okay. Next batch. We'll see how these turn out and how I want to approach the next batch. I don't know, maybe I have to tuck those sides in. Okay. Trying something on a couple of them. Because this is so easy moldable. So they're like the little mini rounds that you have. Let's do some of them like that. See how we like it. It's like your own little mini bite. It's like the big version. And I'm going to leave some like that. Some I might just pinch. I think this one I can't pinch so much. All right, so I got different styles going on here. Ooh, that pan got hot, or that plate got hot. And we're gonna take a little bit of our sauce. See how that thickened up a little bit? And let's coat the top. And that apple, honey, ground butter, bourbon. How do we want to call this? Give me some ideas. Do we want to call it brown bourbon, brown buttered apple honey sauce? That's too much. I don't know. Okay. All right. 375 oven. I think we will probably close to 15 minutes. Let's check it out. All right, let's pull these out of the oven. Oh yeah, I think they just needed that little bit. They look really cute. I like them like this. I might try one more method. We're gonna let these cool down. I'm gonna put them on a rack. We'll let them cool down and let the pan cool down. Yeah, and another pan. This is my favorite pan. I do have another pan, like a cookie sheet. I probably could use that, so I don't have to wait so long in between batches. Let me get a rack and we'll put these on there. Years ago, my mom got me these cooling racks from Pampered Chef, and they have held up, and I love them. I don't know what I do without them. They're great. I like how the air can get underneath them. Smell incredible. Can't wait to bite into these. I am so tempted to bite into one now. So these are what I'm calling my rustic rounds. They look really cute. I might try to do it like a log. I don't know. We'll see. what I decide. These have been cooling for about 5 minutes and I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't decide which one I want to get. So let's go right into it. I want to get a good close up of that. That look good. Let's take a bite. Mm. That is so crispy, buttery. Now I'm getting to the cheesy middle. That's good. That is good. Tweaked though. It definitely needs more apple. Mm-mm. Those couple little thin slices, not enough, but just get a little hint of the sweetness. Hmm. It shifted over. I'm getting more bite of it. Next batch. This one I'm going to do it on one sheet. So I'm taking my flat cookie sheet. When I put this back in the fridge, let's see if I can easily unfold it. And we'll see if I have enough apples. I probably should have done even 3 for this taste testing. But let's go and put it like that. So roll this out just a little bit. And now we're going to put let's take a little wash of our honey brown buttered bourbon sauce. I'm going to put it down the middle. I should have my camera closer so you can get a good shot of this. I just want all that yummy flavor to shine forth. All right, you won't see my face, but I want you to get a good view of this. So let's go ahead and put our apples in the middle. Find those. And this one, I feel like we can put a really good layer on there. We'll see if my idea with pre-cooking these apples was a good idea or not. I think it was. I want to see a few slices left because I just have to do a whole nother apple. Because we want a definitely good apple flavor in there. And now we're going to take, on this one, I'm going to do the cheddar cheese. And you can do Brie still on this. But we're testing out different ones. So, all right. How that looks. Wash my hands. All right, so now I'm gonna just cut some slits in here to that middle part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slices. So let's do it the same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. So we're gonna bring those into the middle. Just crisscross. What I wanted to do, I wanted to take some of my sauce on here inside. Forgot about that. I added a tad more bourbon. It's like a tablespoon to that to thin it out because it was getting too thick. And this is looking pretty. I put my oven up to 400 because I just think it should have been a little bit more. All right. Let's take a little egg wash. Actually, go ahead and use this. This will give us a nice shine on our puff pastry. It's going to be a really, this is real simple. Now, if I wanted to do make ahead, you know, you don't want to do all your prepping on Thanksgiving Day or you'll pull your hair out. You can make this ahead of time, just don't put the egg wash on there. Make it ahead of time, wrap it in some freezer paper, parchment paper, freezer paper, put it in the freezer, and then on Thanksgiving Day, you can pull that out and put your egg, you know, let it thaw a little bit, put your egg wash on there, and get it in the oven. So let me wash my hands. Let's get this in the oven. I'm gonna rinse out my brush. I forgot I wanted to coat it with more of the brown butter sauce also. So let's wash that really pretty good. I don't want to mix that raw egg in with the bourbon sauce. What? All right. Let's get that in a 400-degree oven. I'm thinking at least 25 minutes, maybe. I'm going to check it at 22. We just have these 3 little pieces left of puff pastry, and those we'll try on the Gouda. They didn't get a Gouda enough try because I only got 3 pieces here, but let's go ahead. I should have thought out that other thing of puff pastry that I have. But this at least gave us an idea what cheese we will really want to use. I'm going to roll these out a little bit. Don't have much apple left. We're going to do these like the round ones we did. I'm going to just fold that in half. Or we could do a kitty corner, like a little pop over, right? this here. Smells so good. Alright. You know what? I'm going to use my egg wash on the sides. It's got a little mixture of that honey brown butter and bourbon sauce on there. I can't forget to put our cheese in there. I could have put this in with that other. That would have been instead of wasting the oven for just 3 little pieces. Alright, where's my smoked Gouda? Let's put a good slice on there. There we go. These ones we got a little bit of the juice left. Let's use some of that. Put some drizzle, some on the top. And let's fold over. That would have worked really good, but play around with it a little bit. That didn't work out too good. These ones are scary. Alright. Going for the rustic look on these ones. Pulling it into each corner. Because it's just going to work better that way. Let's throw these in the oven. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to, because I don't have much of the sauce left, I don't worry about cross-contamination because I'm going to be washing this pan anyway. But we could even just drizzle it on. There we go. Oh, we didn't even... Phew, I took that out on time. That was for 18 minutes and it's nice and brown. We're going to move that to a cooling rack. And these seem like they're done too. The ones with the Gouda cheese. I can't wait to try it. Pretty, huh? These have been resting for quite a while because I took a little break. But they would be perfect when they're warm. But let's give them a try. These little ones were the ones with the Gouda. And then this nice little braided puff pastry that had the cheddar. So let's slice into that. Let's just cut it in half. I probably should really pop it in the microwave for a few moments to get that full effect. But oh, look how it looks inside. Doesn't that look nice? You can see definitely a good amount of apples there. Now, I really get a bite of that apple. I think it could have cooked a little bit longer. I did it for like 18 minutes. I thought the top was getting really brown. But it really did need to go longer, which I thought. I will put my oven back to 375 when I go to make these again. Because that puff pastry definitely needed. The outside is nice and crispy. But the inside needs to be cooked a little. You can see a little bit. It tastes really good. The flavor combination I like, but I love that apple and the cheddar. That is really good. I love the brie. I can't decide which one I like the most. And I wish I didn't mess with that temperature on the oven and kept it at 375. Doing some research on other people that make the more of the loaf puff pastry loaf. They usually have their oven on a higher, but maybe with the egg wash, it just made the outside get too brown. So next time, I'll do it a longer time. It's really good. It's great flavor combination. All right, let's check. Let's put this aside and let's go ahead and check the apple and the Gouda. Now these are totally, look at the layers of crispiness, and then there's the apple and the cheese. And that cheese didn't melt as much like the Brie. The Brie is like nice and soft and melty. Mm. Mm. That's good. Okay. I do not know which one I like the most. That's pretty good. All right. My first choice is the Brie. My second choice is the cheddar, and then the Gouda. It's really good though. We're gonna do our blackberry, sage, and goat cheese appetizer now. And we're gonna use the pre-made croissant dough. Just trying to make it easier for our Thanksgiving. We have so many things to do. Now I had this has been sitting out a little bit to soften up close to room temperature. I don't let me get my glasses so I can see how much this is. All right, this is 8 ounce package. So we're gonna get that in the bowl. Then we'll chop up some sage. Now, kind of just going with the flow of what I think will work. So I'm just gonna see if I can get the sage ratio. We don't want it overpowering, but we definitely want to taste it. I thought about creaming this in my little mini chopper. We'll see. Because I want to see how fine I can get the sage. Part of me was like, oh, it looked real pretty with a whole leaf in there, but I thought that might be a little weird to bite into, so just get these pre-packaged uh, fresh herbs, you know, in your grocery store. I'm going to use the big leaves. I know some people use the stems, as long as you get it really small, but I'm going to take them off. I love the smell of sage. Definitely reminds you of the holidays, doesn't it? So you'll have to let me know if you think you might try these recipes. Let's see. Got a good bundle here. A few more. Let's get a knife and get cutting that up. And I just stacked them on each other, and I'm going to do very thin little, cut that up really thinly. And then I'm going to go back over it and rock my knife over it. Want to release those oils in that sage. So thinking this is going to be about 2 tablespoons. I might do 1 tablespoon at a time, but no time. The seasoning. No time left for you. That's another song. We're going to sing Parsley, Sage, Rosemary and Thyme. Alright. About how big that is. Let's get a measuring spoon. Let's do one. This probably isn't even a whole. No, this is almost another tablespoon. Let's mix that in there. Now, some of the appetizers that we, back in the day, I'm side of my old side, back in the day when I was a kid, our mom and aunt and grandmas, when they would have our Thanksgiving dinner, they really had kind of basic appetizers. Really, it was like a fruit platter or a fruit bowl. You can always expect like oranges and even those little mandarin oranges or tangerines. Excuse me. I need a drink of water or something. With my kids, I always did like a fruit platter, and I usually always bought those little mangoes or not mangoes, tangerines, clementines. That's better. I always serve those because it's kind of a memory of, what my mom used to do and grandma and stuff. But I'd always have a basket of mixed nuts that, with the nut cracker that you had to shell yourself. You get a little exercise routine going when you're before the dinner. You're cracking the walnuts and the Brazilian nuts. Those are always so hard to crack, right? So let's give it a little taste just to see if we got enough sage. Goat cheese, very tangy. Oh, we need more, girl. We need more. And one of my favorite appetizers, which you're going to be like, what? But this is what my mom used to do, and my aunts and stuff. They take celery ribs and they would wash those up and cut them into like thirds. And they would make a mixture with cream cheese and green olives with the pimentos. And I think they put a little salt and pepper, a little garlic powder, maybe a little onion powder, made a nice cream mixture. And they would put that in the celery. So I grew up year after year having those on our Thanksgiving feast. And it's really affordable. It's not that fancy, but they're pretty tasty. And I equate that to like Thanksgiving. So let me get my blackberries. I just used frozen blackberries because it really is the end of the blackberry season. Really, up to last week when I went grocery shopping, they had fresh blackberries and went there to get last weekend, and they had no more fresh ones, so we had to use frozen. That's okay. Oh, can't forget, I wanted to add a little bit of blackberry jam to that. I probably have like a cup and a half of blackberries. Now these are going to have the seeds in them. You know what? I don't care if we can have little chunks in there. They're still a little froze. I wasn't sure how much I wanted to put in at a time. But yeah, so what's some favorite appetizers you grew up with for Thanksgiving? Put it in the comments. Let us know what everybody like. Sometimes I wonder if people serve certain things regionally. Like, you know, Northerners always serve this, Southerners always serve that, right? Kind of be interesting. People in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, I've only lived here for 6 years, and a lot of people are also from other places, so they bring their favorite dishes. But yeah, I grew up with a fruit platter. You would have some mixed nuts. I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons of blackberry jam. This is sugar free. To just mix that in with, probably had a whole cup of blackberries. And so we're gonna, let's see, what else am I putting in here? I think just this. I feel like there was something else that I just can't remember. Well, it'll come to me hopefully. And sometimes we would have, of course, the same crackers and cheese. My mom always had a pickle and a relish tray. You know, sweet pickles, dill pickles, green olives, black olives, the whole shebang there. That's what I remember Thanksgiving being when I was a kid growing up. And I have had some of those things, but I don't know that my kids really eat that much of that stuff. Even my husband kind of foo-foos on that. He'll have crackers and cheese and nuts and stuff like that, but none of that cream cheese with the olives. No, he won't go for that. So let's put this on the side. Let's get our croissant dough. All right, so just using this poppin' fresh dough croissants because we want to make it a little easy on ourselves. And that's what she said. All right. You got to be careful not to play with this a whole lot. The heat of your hands. It's gonna. Let's unroll it. You know what? I feel like I need 2 plates. One to roll this out and one to assemble. We'll see how this plan works out. See if it's as good as I thought in my mind here. I don't want to put that on the hot oven. I do have that oven preheating. So we're just going to take a little coating of the I feel like we really don't need salt because yeah, we don't need salt. That tastes good. So I'm just putting a little on the corner here. So can I get a little closer? Here we go. Here we go. All right, let's take a little. Probably don't even need a whole teaspoon. Now we're just going to roll them up. One of my favorite appetizers I like to make for, oh, I ripped it, for either Thanksgiving or Christmas. I think I generally do them for Christmas. I call them bacon chestnuts, and I got that from a lady. Oh gosh, is that the early 90s, late 80s? And she made these bacon chestnuts. So you take the water chestnuts and then you wrap bacon around them and you make this chili sauce. You take chili sauce, mayonnaise, some other seasonings, and you pour that over bacon chestnuts. Put little toothpicks in there. I'm just rolling this up here. And you bake that. Oh man, those are really good. And I have a video of that already. So if you want to make those, when I at work, sometimes we have covered dishes, and they're like, "Bring your bacon chestnuts." They get inhaled. They're really good. But I don't know about you. I I do like the traditional. There's a lot of the traditional things I do like Thanksgiving, but there's that creative side of me that just wants to try something else. So if you're watching this channel, maybe that's the way you are. You're like, I like a hint of the traditional, or maybe mostly traditional, a hint of the new and creative. Well, of course, blackberry sage. That's a kind of a, I don't know how long that flavor profile's been going on, but for a while. These are going to be good, I think. Just don't want to overstuff. I saw something, I can't remember if it was on TikTok or Facebook, but this family, they have instead of having their dessert on Thanksgiving night, you know how you make all these pies and all these rich desserts. You've eaten a big meal and you're like, I can't fit another thing. I can't take another bite. Well, they serve their pies the night before they have a pie party. I thought, oh, that's kind of fun. You know, especially families coming in from, out of town. Now, the only thing with that is sometimes you're real busy baking uh, the night before and you don't want to be comatose from dessert. So, my plan, if I was to do that, which I really love that plan, I would do it the day after because it's totally lot chill, right? You're just eating leftovers. Have a bunch of pie. Now, these look so simple to make. Can't wait to get them in the oven and see. Put some over here so I got space. Now, what should we put for a topping? Oh, I do have an egg wash. I saved my egg wash for my other appetizer. We could put that on top so it's nice and. So here, I probably can do 2 batches. I wasn't sure if I was going to. Somebody give some to my daughter if she swings by. I said, yeah, why don't you swing by and try testing out some appetizers? I think with the sweet, the savory, the tangy, sounds like a good mix, right? Have the oven at 375. And I'm thinking 15 minutes, maybe a little bit more because of the filling. These would be great for a brunch too, wouldn't they? Okay, while I'm doing this, if you're starting to think about hosting Thanksgiving, you got to start planning now. You got to make that shopping list, that guest list. You need to know how many people you're feeding, what size turkey you're going to use. I do have a free resource for you. It's called 7 Steps to Hosting a Stress-Free Thanksgiving Dinner. It's your go-to guide for everything Thanksgiving, from shopping list to uh, table decor to um, how to make, what sides you can make ahead. Oh, it's all your cooking charts for your turkey. I got you hooked up. So go ahead and make sure you, I'll put that link in the description or in the comments, and you can get that at back to home with Doreen.com. So let's get a cookie sheet. I don't know if I need to lightly grease this. Let's see. Sorry. I don't. Oh, I think it's ungreased. Yeah, ungreased pan. All right. Let's do one batch. We're gonna have some spillage. I probably should use parchment paper because with that jam, that is not gonna be fun to clean up, right? If you're not following me or subscribed yet, go ahead and make sure you do that so you can catch all our holiday yummy recipes. All right. All right. Oh, I can't wait to try these. So we're gonna put our egg wash on there. A little dough left over. Squeeze that there. So I'm hoping with the jam in there, there's just and the blackberries, just enough sweetness. Hoping it will complement that goat cheese. I'm thinking it will. All right, let's get that in the oven. Set the timer. We'll be back. All right, let's give a taste test to one of these yummy lovelies. We got the savory goat cheese with the sage, the fresh chopped sage, and then we've got a blackberry filling. Oh, we got a little bit of the raspberry. That's the one for the middle for the cheese. Oh yeah, that is nice. It's a nice little tang. The sage isn't overpowering, but you got the little bit of the fragrance and the flavor of it. Mm, that is so yummy. I definitely am going to serve these. Thanks, friends, for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you can catch all my holiday recipes. We just had these appetizers, but if you subscribe, you can see my past holiday appetizers, and you can also catch my past desserts. This next week, we're going to post a chocolate chunk bourbon pecan pie. Doesn't that sound yummy? And then we'll have another dessert to go with that. I haven't decided yet, so you'll have to stay tuned to watch for that. And we're going to be talking everything Thanksgiving. Now, if you don't want to wait for any more steps, make sure you go to the link in the description or in the comments. It's backtohomewithdoreen.com, and you can get your free ebook. It's 7 steps to hosting a stress-free Thanksgiving dinner. Talk about guest list, shopping list, how much turkey you need to buy for how many people you're serving. We have cook charts, law charts for your turkey, everything you're gonna kind of need to pull off that first Thanksgiving, or if you've been doing Thanksgiving and looking for some tips and strategies to make it a little less chaotic, go ahead and get that book. That's a free resource for you, and we'll get that right out to you. So you have a great day, and thanks for watching.